Sega.
Hi, I'm Jeff Beckham, Associate Brand Manager at Sega, and I'd like to welcome you back to Part 11 of our training series for Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. In this video, we will cover Akira and Vanessa. Master in the art of Hakyokuken, Akira Yuki uses this martial arts style to dismantle his adversaries with lightning-quick, hard-hitting strike. Akira's game relies heavily on reading the opponent and solid execution, rather than strings or tricky tactics. Thus, he is recommended for advanced players. Akira's primary poking tool is his dashing elbow, which is done by pressing forward punch. This attack is quick and fairly safe, so be sure to incorporate it into your offense. Your goal with this move should be to hit the opponent with it and force them to make choices. To increase your chances of a successful hit with a dashing elbow versus patient opponents, you can sometimes use a standing punch to gain a small advantage, and then follow with a dashing elbow when you think they will either low punch or duck. Once the dashing elbow hits, it's important to watch the opponent and see how they react. Some players will panic and try to retaliate. Against them, you can use another dashing elbow or a larger attack. Others might try to either guard or evade. Against those players, use throws. If the opponent guards your dashing elbow, beginner players should use the easy throw escape to avoid the opponent's mid-throw mix-up game, and intermediate players should lean towards using fuzzy guarding, which was covered in Training Session 3. The more powerful version of the dashing elbow is the super dashing elbow, which is forward punch. This move comes out slower but crumples the opponent on counter hit. You can also use the same defensive techniques as the dashing elbow if guarded. From a distance, beginners can also use down forward punch plus kick to antagonize the opponent. This move hits low and will give you a medium advantage on normal hit and a knockdown on counter hit. It can also be useful against opponents attacking with high strings. To launch opponents, Akira can use his Yoho, which is done by pressing down forward punch. This move has quite a bit of range and will hit an opponent from a little further than starting distance. Use this move when you think your opponent will try to attack with a slow move, attack out of medium disadvantage, or try to throw you. New to Final Showdown, Akira has the ability to enter his Tyro Compo stance after either a normal or counter hit on forward punch plus kick. On the moment of impact, you must hit punch plus guard, and then hit punch plus kick plus guard when you see Akira grab the opponent. From here, it's a 50-50 guess for the opponent whether to guard high or low. Pressing punch will hit crouching opponents, and pressing kick will hit them if they are standing. In addition to throws, Akira has the ability to break the standing guard of opponents for a small combo. This can be useful against players who tend to rely on the easy throw escape too often. Another standing guard break is available as a mix-up after this attack. Press up or down after the first hit and Akira will step to the side. From here you can either press punch for a mid-attack that will crumple the opponent, or punch plus kick for the high guard break. Try mixing these two up as well, as they will both lead to small combo opportunities. Here are a few combos from Akira's Yoho. And now on to Vanessa. Vanessa Lewis is a Vale Tudo expert with a split fighting style. Each stance has its own strengths and weaknesses, and switching between them will completely change her attack patterns and general strategies. Learning when to use each stance and its moves is the key to using Vanessa at her full potential. Switching between Vanessa's offensive and defensive stance is very simple. Just hit punch plus kick plus guard at any time during a match. You can even switch her stance before the round starts. You can also press forward while switching stances to keep pressure on the opponent with Vanessa's shoulder tackle attack. Finally, you can cancel a charged back kick plus guard by quickly holding down after the back to switch her stance. Now let's look at some important tools from Vanessa's defensive stance. Vanessa's mid kick has a deceptively long range. Even from right next to the opponent, she has the ability to backdash out of the way of standing punch, low punch, and even many quick mid attacks after using her mid kick. From starting distance, punch plus kick can also be a good poking tool. It's a medium speed mid attack with good range and a high punch follow-up that will crumple an opponent on counter hit. Once your opponent respects the second hit, there is a good chance they will stop attacking, at which time you can pressure with other tactics. Since the second attack is high, they might try to low punch in anticipation of the second hit, at which time you can use Vanessa's down back punch sabaki. This move will sabaki a large amount of low and high attacks, including standing punch and low punch. Another powerful long range attack is Vanessa's kick string. The second part of this string is a full circular special high that leaves her opponent in the side turn position. Since the opponent will not be able to evade or low punch to beat the second hit, use it freely against those unfamiliar with it. Once your opponent is side turned, you can counter their attacks with a very damaging combo if you think they will try to attack. Once they are conditioned to guard after being turned sideways, you can mix in a throw rather than the side kick. Opponents wise to the second hit being high might try to duck. Use this opportunity to go for low throws. In addition to those techniques, Vanessa players should make use of back punch plus kick, which is a quick high that floats the opponent on counter hit. There is also her low sweep. From the right distance you can backdash quick mid attacks, and at any range you can use the down back punch sabaki if they try to retaliate with a low punch or low kick. While strategies in defensive stance consist of keeping your opponent at a distance and hitting them with a few powerful attacks, Vanessa's offensive stance contains a flurry of punches and kicks that can confuse and overwhelm her opponents. A big weakness of Vanessa's offensive stance mix-ups is the low punch. It is important to use strings like punch, down forward punch to counter early low punches and to prevent more in the future. One of Vanessa's best attacks in offensive stance is her Superman punch. This attack comes out from long range and will beat any low attack. On counter hit, the Superman punch will lead to a very damaging combo. Even if the Superman punch is blocked, it leaves Vanessa at a small advantage that you can use to keep the momentum. Once your opponents stop low punching, Vanessa is free to use her full range of mix-ups. Make sure to cancel her strings into her tackle when your opponents start to block. Once they start to react to the tackle animation, make them pay with the hook punch combo instead. Here are some simple offensive combos that will help you get started. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Beckham from Sega, and I'll see you at the next session.